Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today's episode is all about how to build really good communication skills and how to build your confidence as a brand new medical coder. If you're brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue. I'm a medical coder. I have been a medical coder for over 10 years. I created my channel with the hope of sharing all the things that I know with all of you. So if you want more of this content, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button. I hope you'll like this, and at the end of this video helps you, I hope that you will share it. So let's get started. Okay, you're brand new to the medical coding field and you are feeling uneasy, you're feeling unsure of yourself. How do you combat this? How do you get more confident? Are you ever going to feel like you're more confident? Yes, I have good news. Yes, you will end up feeling like you're more confident, but it's going to be an investment in yourself and how you are presenting yourself and how you are coming across. So the first things first, I will always recommend reading books about leadership. Now, I went through the Arbinger Institute training, and I'm going to leave some of those titles down in the description box below as well. So if you're interested in checking out those books or looking into them, that way, maybe if you want to read them, that would be a good start. Now, reading books on leadership, even though you're not in a position of leadership, maybe, because maybe you're just a medical coder or maybe you're just a biller, it doesn't matter. You still have to deal with alpha personalities. And when you are dealing with very strong alpha personalities, whether it is dealing with fellow coders or whether it is dealing with other providers, you need to be able to have those skills. And that is not something that they're going to teach you in medical coding school, okay? They're only going to teach you about how to medical code. They're not going to teach you the personality skills that you need, which is learning how to stand up for yourself, learning how to speak clearly with these other alpha personalities and leaders and things like that. So in order to have those skills, you need to have the skills of a leader yourself, because leaders can talk very well with leaders. And if it's one thing I've learned, it's this. I've had a provider tell me before, I understand you and you understand me. The difference between me and you, though, is I'm a doctor and you're a medical coder. You speak medical coder and I speak doctor. So it's a rare thing when a coder and a doctor can speak and they can fully understand each other. He knew that I took the time to do leadership, and he knew that I took the time to really dive into my work and really fully understand it, and being able to communicate that to him, and him being receptive enough because he saw how my personality was. I'm not playing games. I know what I'm doing. I'm very confident in what I'm presenting, and I'm also presenting my facts, okay? Because when it comes to medical billing and coding, you have to have your facts. And he noticed all of this, and so because of this, we were able to communicate very well. So that was just me knowing that I needed to get that confidence, because was I there in the beginning at the same time like you guys, where, oh my gosh, I feel so insecure. I feel so like I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm afraid to talk to this provider because they're not going to want to listen to me. Yes, I was absolutely there. But then having that epiphany that I knew I needed to get myself together and I needed to get this thing going right, I started reading those leadership books. And doing that really does help me, because when you are showing any kind of weakness, everybody can see around you, right? They can tell the difference between somebody who looks confident and somebody who doesn't look so confident. And the ones that don't look so confident, they don't get things. Things are not really easier for them. If you're not showing confidence, people are going to take advantage of that, okay? And you don't want that. You want to be able to say, oh, wow, that person really looks like they know what they're doing. I'm not going to mess with them. Exactly. So walking tall and having that confidence when you're speaking also is going to be huge. If you have a thick accent, and if you have an accent, you know what I mean. If you have a thick accent, please do yourself a favor and work on this. Now, I'm not saying this to be mean, and I shouldn't even have to say that either, but I'm letting you guys know that when a provider does not understand a medical coder or a biller because of their accent being real thick, the provider is going to lose patients quickly. And that's just the way that they are. And sometimes they have an accent as well. And if they have an accent and they can't understand another person who has an accent, which I've seen that happen, then it just doesn't make for good communication. You have to have really good communication. So if you have this thick accent, there's plenty of videos about dialect on YouTube. Take the time and look through there. And also, I recommend like watching movies. Watch your favorite movie and maybe articulate the words back and just say them back as they're saying them. Then you can be repeating them, because and when you repeat them, try to mimic the way that they sound on TV, because if you're doing that, that'll help to work with the way that you're speaking, and hopefully it will clear up some of those words. And yes, there's some times when I have problems pronouncing some of like the medical terminology. I have a problem with that. But I try to do what I can, and I'll listen to the YouTube videos when they're pronouncing these big medical terminology words that I can't really pronounce and I get tongue-tied on. Don't ask me what happened with sebaceous, okay? I used to mispronounce sebaceous all the time. But I finally got it because I was listening to that YouTube pronunciation of sebaceous. I was like, okay, now I got this word. So it does take you putting in a little bit of effort on your own, but doing that little bit of effort on your own is really going to help. So working on your speech, if you have a speech issue, is really important. Working on your confidence level, and that's only going to be by you investing in yourself, by reading these books on leadership, by walking tall, and by being very clear and direct with what you want. Now, there is a way to do this without being rude. Obviously, you don't want to be rude, but you do want to be direct. Never, ever, 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 if you hear anything that I say in this video, please hear me when I say this. When you're asking a question, do not start off with, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, this. Or maybe as asking the question and then, I'm sorry, I just don't understand. Nope, no go. Anytime you feel yourself saying, I'm sorry, you need to stop, because you're not sorry. You're asking a question. And to ask a question is to not apologize. What are you apologizing for? That is what you should ask yourself, because all of our words that we say have a meaning. They have some purpose. So to throw in, I'm sorry, because you don't understand something, you're brand new. Not everybody's going to expect you to understand everything right out of the gate. You're not going to understand everything right out of the gate. So there's no need to apologize. So start practicing now with stop apologizing, because there's people who do that all the time. And even when I hear it at work, and I will hear some coders, I'm sorry, and then they'll start asking the question, why are you apologizing? And I will ask them that. And they go, well, Blue, no. You're asking a question. You have every right to ask questions. What you don't need to do is apologize. Okay? You should only apologize if you've done something wrong. Obviously, if you've done something wrong, or you've done something in an error or whatever, then it's okay to apologize. But don't keep apologizing if you have to apologize. Don't keep apologizing, because there's nothing worse than that. Somebody that's constantly apologizing when they've already apologized. We heard you, you know? So be clear in those things. So carefully think, because a lot of times people are just sort of saying things, and when they get nervous, they're just like, oh, and they just start speaking. Okay, stop. If you're one of those ones that starts babbling, and you know what I mean, because we all do it, right? If you're one of those ones that starts babbling when you get nervous, there's ways to work on that, which is to stop and take 2 seconds before you start speaking. Okay, some people take 5 seconds. I tend to take 2 seconds, and especially I'll just sort of, and then I'll just, that 2 seconds gives me a chance to stop and think about what I'm about to say. Okay, now there's going to be times when you may get flustered, okay, and it's just very difficult to like know what to say, or if somebody's, you know, maybe pointing out that you did something wrong, like an error that you did or whatever. It's okay. Stop and ask them questions. Don't get defensive right away, okay? When you are learning, right? It's important not to get defensive when somebody is trying to correct you. And remember, not everybody is as enlightened as you, right? When it comes to, well, have you had leadership training? Okay, not everybody has, and there's people that think that they don't need that stuff, and oh, it's hooky, and I don't need it, and whatever. When in actuality, everybody could benefit from it, because then it will help us to have better communication skills. So if somebody is sort of correcting you and you know that they're just sort of maybe telling you the wrong way, but you understand that they're trying to communicate what they're trying to say, it's okay to take a step back and be like, okay, well, this person is not as enlightened. It's all right. I can take some direction, and I understand, and I will just take this error and move on. The worst thing that you can do ever is continually beat yourself up, okay? You're going to have good days, and you're going to have some not so good days. And that is the honest truth. And when you have those not so good days, it is a good time to learn. And learn something that you're not going to do again. Especially if somebody points out an error, like in your coding or whatever. And if that is the case, if you're getting errors in your coding, if you're in a specialty clinic, like in cardiology or maybe in orthopedics, podiatry, rheumatology, something like that, family practice, there are websites that you can look up and just look into just the different specialties. Orthoinfo.org is a wonderful website, and it talks about orthopedic diagnoses along with injuries and what does it mean, and it breaks it down into layman's terms. So having a valuable website like this where you can go and just sort of look at the different things and different issues that happen under the orthopedic umbrella will help you to understand. And it's taking that extra time to read and do all of this other little study time outside of your work. And yeah, it's going to be a little bit of that in the beginning, or I should say a lot of it in the beginning, because you're going to have to learn, because then you're going to learn book coding and real world coding is two different things. And yes, you're learning the fundamental basics when you're in school, but what you learn in school is very by the book and very basic, and it's not going to throw you those curveballs like you are going to get when you're in the real world of medical coding. And when you're in the real world of medical coding, they're not going to use the same words that's in the book. You have to learn the synonyms for medical terminology, okay? So those are all the things that you are going to be learning. But as time goes on, and when you are patient with yourself, it's going to get easier, but you have to be patient. So many people are so stressed out when in the beginning they don't get everything right away, they get very frustrated, and they want to give it up. Before you do that, think about this. You have gone through an entire program, and you have passed an exam, a certification exam, which some people struggle to do, okay? So if you've passed it, great, okay? And then you've gotten through perhaps that horrible time in the beginning where you're trying to find a job, and you finally find a job, and now you've got your foot in the door and you're there and you're actually coding, and then all of a sudden you start getting hit with the reality of, wow, I don't know this, I don't know this, and I don't know this. There's going to be things that you don't know. Be expecting that. You're not going to know everything. But knowing how to find resources is key. And I do have plenty of videos about how to find resources, really good resources for medical coders. And I hope you'll check out my videos about those. I may leave some links down in the description box below. But I want you guys to know that it will get easier with time, especially when you start knowing how to find your resources, because then you're not going to feel that pressure to have to know everything. You're going to know how to find the answers, okay? And that is a really good thing to have, and that will give you that confidence. And there's a lot of people that say, well, fake it till you make it. There is a little bit of that, but I like to think of it as you're going to be boots on the ground. You are really going to have to immerse yourself in whatever you're doing, whatever specialty it is, and that there's no fakery there, okay? There's no faking that. It is actual hard work. It's the blood, sweat, and tears. That's all it is, you know, and it takes time. And everybody is going to go through that. But if you go through the process and you go through those moments where, yeah, you did learn something from an audit, or, you know, maybe what you were saying was not clear, then we can learn, okay, if what I said wasn't clear and people didn't quite understand me, then I know I need to work on my communication skills. Again, looking into the self-improvement books and like the books from the Arbinger Institute, that will go a long way into helping you. Now, the Arbinger Institute was extremely enlightening for me because it gave me that sort of thing of, it's not about me, it's about everybody else. So it's that outward mindset that really did start to open my eyes to be like, it's not about me. It's about others. It is about what they're going through and what they are seeing, how they are seeing and perceiving a situation. So it is about them. It's not about me. So when I took that and I was just like, oh, well, this makes it a lot, a lot more easier for me now, because now I know when somebody is really snappy with me, that it's not about me, it's not personal. It is about that person and whatever it is that they're going through. And maybe I need to look at changing my approach with how I'm communicating with them. Because when you sort of take that off the other person, like, you know, okay, well, maybe I didn't approach them the correct way, okay? That's taking that off the other person. That's good, because you're thinking, okay, I need to change how I approached this situation, because changing how you approach a situation is going to give you a different result. And instead of having the same sort of attitude or the same sort of mindset every time, well, this person is trying to do this to me, this person is trying to do this to me. It's not about that. It's about how you are handling a situation. And it is the same thing when you are thinking about, how do I build confidence? If you're overthinking, that is the thief of dreams, okay? Don't do that. And overthinking is a buzzkill every time. It really is. But when you're going through the process of being a brand new medical coder and you're saying to yourself, well, you know, I recognize that I am not going to know everything right off the bat. I know that if I continue to study and read and watch videos and do all of these other things that are going to improve me, this is going to make me a better, more efficient, more high caliber medical coder. And that is what is going to help you walk taller and feel stronger when you are doing coding. And when you're doing the coding and you feel like you're on the fence and you're like, oh, I feel so confused and I just don't know what to do. Should I pick this code or that code? Pick a code. Pick a code and move on. If it's wrong, you'll hear about it. And if it is, then you'll know, okay, I did this wrong. Well, I know now if somebody explains this to me, or if I look into it further, then I can find out what did I do wrong here, or how is it that they get this answer here. And hopefully you'll have somebody that's patient enough around you that will explain it to you. If not, there's coding clinics that you can look up through the resource tab in your encoder if you're using an encoder, or you can go online and try to see if you can just punch in your question and ask that, or you can come here and ask the question, and I'll try to answer your question as best I can. But you have a resource here now, guys, okay? I do answer questions, very specific ones, okay? I do have lots of motivational videos. I do have medical coding tip videos. There's lots of them throughout my videos. So I invite you to please look through my videos and check out what may be of interest to you. Okay, got lots and lots of titles, and I try to be as specific as I possibly can when I am titling my videos, so that way you guys know what the video is all about. But I mean, it's just me just sharing these facts with you and the things that I've been through in my experience. But it's all about filling that gap as well. I say that a lot too, that my channel was created for, like, answering those questions, because there's what you learn in school and what you learn at work, and then there's in the middle. And in the middle part is, how are you handling situations? How are you approaching stress? How are you approaching challenges that come your way with different personalities and things like that? It is about working on your own behaviors and your own responses to situations. That is something to think about, guys, because how you do that is going to impact how you see the field as well. I've mentioned before that I do not allow for negative people to be around me, because I am the type of person that soaks up people's energy. So if I don't need to be around you and you're negative, oh yes, I'm going to exit to the left, because I am not going to surround myself with anybody that's negative. This life, we only get one rodeo, folks, and you got to do the best that you can with it. Okay? And when you do that, that is, it can be so amazing, and it can be so, it can make your life whatever you want it to be, and when you are trying and you're applying yourself, that is when all that hard work, it will pay off, guys. But you just have to believe in yourself and believe in your abilities. And don't tell yourself, oh, I can't do it. Don't ever say that you can't do something. And if you say I can't do something, please show me, where does it say that you can't do something? Nowhere. There's no written proof that says you can't do something that you want to do. Okay, within reason, obviously. But think about that. There's nothing, nobody can stop you but you. You're the only one that can stop you. Well, I have kids and I have a family. So your kids are going to see what you do. And when they see what you do, they're going to watch every single thing that you do. And so this confidence building that you're doing, that's what they're going to see. And that's how they're going to be. And that, having that good skill now, when they're growing up and they're seeing you do that, oh, it is really good for them, because then that's going to tell them, okay, I know I need to be a very strong, confident person, and this is how I do it, because this is how I saw my parent do it. So if they could do it, I can do it. And you never know. You could be somebody else's role model. Somebody else is looking at you and how you are handling things. And it doesn't matter what your education level is. It does not matter where you got your training. That doesn't matter. What matters is you. This is why I don't look at people's credentials. I'm not a credential snob. I look at the caliber of the coder themselves. Because I always say the caliber of every medical coder is going to be different. And how you carry yourself is the start. And it goes a long way. But like I said, if you have a strong accent, work on your accent. Walk tall. Forgive yourself for not knowing everything right away. Know that it's not about you. It's that outward, have that outward mindset. That it is not all about you. Okay? And that is really important. That's going to take a lot off of you. That's going to take a huge load off of you if you get into that mindset of, it's not about me. It is about others. And when you have that sort of selfless attitude, again, it is going to help you tenfold. Okay? So those are the most important things that I got to say out of this. And also, do not apologize for asking questions. If you're going to ask questions, be very direct. Okay? And always have that good mindset. Give yourself that positive reinforcement talk. And don't say, I can't do it, I'm stupid, I don't know. Because no, you're not. You can do anything that you want to do. And remember, that's where it all starts. It all starts in here. And it all starts in here. Because you got to have both. And they've got to be on the same, your mind and your heart, right? They've got to be on the same wavelength. Because what you put out is what you're going to get back in. So you have to have that good positive energy, and you got to put that out there, because that's what you're going to get back in. If you have that negative, defeated self, bad self-talk, that's exactly what you're going to get back. It's the truth. because I've seen it. I've seen people at work who behave horribly, and then they have people who are horrible back to them, and then they wonder why. And it's a circle that perpetuates itself. Think about it. If they would straighten their attitude, maybe they might have a better return. I'm just saying. So that's my advice for today. And like I said, take the time to do some self-improvement. And it's okay. Take a weekend. Read a book. Watch a TED Talk. Get motivated. Because only you can do that for yourself. I'm going to wrap this one up. So, if you are a medical coder, a medical coding student, somebody curious about the fascinating world of medical coding, a provider, or a nurse, I invite you to like and subscribe and follow me on my journey in medical coding. I will see y'all next time. Bye!